Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Cities Skylines. I've realised that these episodes have kind of been a little bit wayward. We'll start with one plan and then end up doing a million and one different things, and it kind of it almost lacks direction. So I quite like the way that I'm building so far, but today I think we should focus on one thing in particular. We do have a few updates to go through before we actually begin, so I'm going to talk about them before we get started and get right into it. So I have been playing a lot with mods and things. We're just going to go over to our city overview and I'm going to show you some of the things that have changed and what I've done. I'm getting to grips a little bit more now with the mods, which, you know, considering the sequel to the game is coming out soon, may all be a little bit redundant. But to be fair, until I have enough money to actually purchase the new game, I will probably be sticking with Cities Skylines 1 for quite some time. So let's go over to our city and I'll show you what I've done. So over here at Aspen Park, you might remember when we actually designed this, we had a water outflow pipe here going into the lake to fill it up, and I had to adjust this every time as the water would evaporate eventually, so I had to turn the outflow pipe back on, and the only way to actually get this working would be to have other pipes removing water from there. But if we go into our water tab here, you will see why that would be a problem. So this water pumping station has a pumping capacity of 120,000 meters cubed of water per week. That means to actually fill this lake, we would need at least 4 freshwater outlets, because the drain capacity on those is 24,000 meters cubed per week. So given that, you know, we'd have to do a lot of maths to get that working and actually set up. But you can see a problem here, actually. We do have a flooded building or flooded walkway here. It's now no longer flooded, that's okay. So what I actually did was, using one of the mods that I have, I activated a water source right here. And that basically spawns water in there that will be permanently in place. So it's really good, really useful, and has meant I don't need to do any more micromanagement over here. You can see our bird is now fiery, and that is because I have turned on certain elements of anarchy. And basically what that does is allow you to build outside the constraints that the game places on you. But let's talk a little bit more about other stuff that has happened. There was a huge fire over in the woodworking district here, and we have managed to put it out and recover, and that's fine. You'll notice though that there's a lovely swathe of greenery going all the way over, and that's because I just wanted to paint some trees everywhere to make this place look really nice and lively and well decorated. It's a bit dark right now, so we can't actually see. What I can do is I can quickly go to the it's play it, and we can change the time of day very quickly to a nice morning there. So you can now see how lovely this all looks, forested up. And we'll just turn off the hood a second. And there we have it. Lovely looking green spaces all the way through, going into our city park, where everything's looking really nice. And then the busy urban district here, where we have the university, coming all the way through to our metropolis and city centre area that has risen up in this space here. I mean, look at these weird buildings. These are tiny little households, but they look really cute, although they do look like very small right across the road from the hospital. Anyway, moving on very swiftly, we've done a little bit of road adjustment here. You can see there's some offices that have ended up being stuck here in the middle. We're going to remove these again and just repurpose this area a little bit. As you can see, there's not a great deal of demand for industry offices or commercial. A lot of it is residential. So we're going to convert a lot of the buildings along here to residential areas and basically complete this entire area going all the way down. And then this space here, we'll probably have offices and some form of commercial buffer across the road when we're able to. We have expanded a little bit too much in terms of areas that we can't actually fulfill. Another thing has happened. I've removed this commercial district, and that is because that's today's episode. So I'm going to very quickly get some residential built here, and then we're going to focus over on these two areas of Valley Hills and Chestnut Heights. You might remember we removed that office space. I've then grabbed this lovely little intersection here from a creator on the workshop. We'll just bring these over because I've forgotten the name, so I can tell you. It's Timbo. Timbo's T-Bone Interchange. I did put a little bit of variation on it because I needed to get things off the track onto this roundabout here. And then there's a little bit of space here so that things can link up, turn around on this space here, or go up onto the highway there. Lots of like interchanging routes and stuff, and the traffic flow's looking a lot nicer. The other thing that I might do today, if we get round to it, is move this. Yeah, I know we just put this in, but we've now expanded up into this area here. And what I'd quite like to do is create a industrial hub so that our forestry district, our farming district, our ore industry over here all end up feeding into one commercial hub here. We'll route the train track all the way around and have that link up, and we'll also have a nice highway link up as well, because this is right next to the highway as well, which means any industrial traffic from here will no longer need to go into the city and join up that way. They can actually come to this industrial hub, drop off any goods and stuff into the various warehouses we're going to put there, and then ship off into the wide world of everything else. And we'll make that like a little industrial park. So that's the plan. But today is all about office space. So we're going to just get, well, office space and commercial space actually. So let's just move the time forward a little bit and we'll pause the game and then I will start building. So the first thing we wanted to do was just de-zone some properties over here. So what I'll do is I'll just grab a big swatch here. We'll run all the way up the top. All of this is getting de-zoned right the way up there. I just accidentally zoned it for residential instead because I'm a fool. Great start, Lee. Well done. Right, we'll go all the way down here. De-zone all of this. I know some of it is already residential, but I don't want it to... I just want to reset it all. And then we'll just remove that little bit there as well. Cool, right. So they should all start vanishing. We'll get our high-density residential zones and we'll start painting. So I want some here... Oh no, that's far too close to the highway, so we'll de-zone that. We don't want that in. We want high-density residential, and we want it to be in these spaces here. So all of this is going to need to be filled. So we'll just grab our swatch here and all the way through high-density residential, cutting all the way through the town here. Excellent, right, and then we'll keep that going all the way down. Although this is more the suburban district, so we are going to... I've lost the power somehow. I think it's because I removed a couple of buildings there. So we get housing going all the way down there, and then we'll put a little low-density commercial back in here. And we'll also put low-density commercial just going to the end of this street here. No, we won't actually, because that's quite an important roundabout. So people can turn around here or link up with the highway there. And then what we're going to do, because this backs onto the main motorway here, this is where we're going to put our office back in when we get some demand for it. Because at the moment, we don't actually need it. Then over here, because these buildings are weird shapes, I'm actually going to remove them. Don't want them there. And we'll also remove these ones along here. Because we're getting enough of a new residential district popping up, we should be okay with that. Now, let's have a look where our power's gone wrong very quickly. Ah, yes, it was because I'd removed those buildings. Right, we'll get that linked back up. So that should solve that issue. And now we can start planning out this new commercial area. So the plan for Cawfields Park is to have the amusement park eventually wrap around the football stadium. The problem that we have at the moment is it's got a little bit of a terrain deformity there. And we're going to need to have a look at that. The stadium may need to be moved. And we'll just have a theme park on that side there. What we could do, though, is have our stadium go right in the middle of this area. So Chestnut Heights here, you can see that we have it set up as a tourism specialization zone. And then over here, we have a leisure specialization zone. Just for the record, all of the commercial businesses in the area of Aspen Park are now... only producing local goods and selling local goods. So that's where we're at for that. So what's happening today? We are going to grab a little bit of a road extension here. We're going to pull this all the way up to here, get that matched up with the other side there, and then that will be our thoroughfare seems to have gone a little bit weird. I think that's part of the anarchy that I have put on here. Yeah, we just want to swap that to normal roads. Thank you very much. And we will have this as a bus route going all the way through. There we go. So that works. That's in. Next, we can start designing some little areas here. So over here, I want to put this back in as well. We'll turn anarchy off again. And this continues all the way through. So we end up with a couple of areas here that we can make some adjustments to and get everything settled in nicely. I'm not quite sure what's happened here with the roads, but we'll just remove that a second. I can see what's happened here with the roads. It seems to have gotten a little bit strange, and we're going to need to level off the terrain here. So let's get our landscaping tools up. We'll go with level terrain, and we want it to kind of adhere to this level. That's where we want it to be. And at the moment, I'm just going to move my city vitals over here. We've got a nice couple of new tools at our disposal. So there we go. That's what we want to do. We want to level all of this so that we don't have that weirdness going on. Oh, God, it seems to be... the whole thing's got a little bit of a... Ah, yeah. Let's just do this. I'm going to delete this road again. I think that's the problem. I think that road has caused a bit of an issue there. And this road seems to have caused an issue too. So let's level off. It might well be that the terrain itself is just uneven. Actually, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, it is. It's very uneven. So we're going to undo as much of that as we can. We'll end up putting that road back in. I think that might be the best we can do. Thankfully, though, that's putting everything back to normal, so that's good. Right, what we better do then is we'll copy our road again, and then we want the ground to follow the elevation of the road. So what'll happen now is the ground itself there, as you can see, will elevate to snap to the road. So we don't actually end up building elevated road pieces, but what will then happen is every road piece that we build will now have some sort of elevation, raising the ground up so that it's level with the road, and we can actually then start having buildings nice and flat against it. So that's a good start. The next step then is going to be to work out where we're going to start putting these commercial properties. So we're going to map this out with our dirt road, and then we're going to start designing a really nice plaza area where we can have a load of different shops in and potentially some unique buildings. I have found some and I'm excited to use them. So I don't want to cause traffic immediately coming off this roundabout. So we're going to start up here, and then we're just going to have the road come into the middle of the building, the square here, and we're going to have it come down and eventually match back up with the roundabout there. Then it'll loop around, and again it will loop around further, coming into this area here, going up, and then joining back up there with the main kind of road. So that's a nice little commercial zone there where we can put in a few shops and potentially some new buildings. But again, I don't want this area to start getting snarl-ups for traffic, so we're then going to move back over and we're going to do the same here. So from this road here, we're going to have them come inside again, go up to here, cut across, come in, right down to the roundabout, then back across again, coming inside, up, and then back with there. So we got these weird little shapes going on here, but I kind of like them. The problem is now the terrain has kind of matched all to it, and we need to try and make some adjustments to that. But this might give us some nice creative looking spaces here, so I'm not too concerned about it. The next step is going to be in here. Now what I kind of want to do is map out something coming off here again. So we'll go to the middle of the district. We'll come all the way up here to begin with, kind of around about to here. Then we're going to have a branching path coming down here, and then another one coming off here. No, we'll have this go up, and then we want it to curve around. So it kind of goes around the back of these shops here. there, and then we'll have another straight road that just matches up with that. Then I guess we could have something that goes here, coming into this area, and then just branching off in 2 different directions so we can fit in some more commercial property there. Then we're going to have this continue again to this part, and we'll have it again match up, I guess. Or maybe we'll just have one coming up here and then off like that. So you can see we now have all of this area covered by some sort of area where we can put commercial properties in. Let's have a look at our unique buildings now, because we have some here that are looking really, really promising. So the first one is the cinema, which would look great right in the middle of our leisure area right here. So we will put the cinema just off the road there. Oh, actually, first things first, I need to actually do this road. So with our leisure areas and our nice city park, not park, or with these new areas that we are building, I would like trees in the middle. So the 2-lane road with median trees could work. We could also have I think median trees going up through the middle would be a nice idea. Is there a median trees with sidewalk? I think there is. Bicycle lanes? No, we can't have bicycle lanes. It's definitely not a bike-friendly area right in the middle of this commercial hub. So what have we got? Decorated roads. We've got 2-lane road with median trees, 2-lane road with grass median and bicycle lanes. Okay, right. We'll go with the median trees then. I thought there would be one that had like a little bit more to it, but apparently not. So we're going to upgrade all of these and just have these trees going all the way around. So it's got this really nice city centre feel to it, but it looks a little bit more like metropolitan. Kind of like if you've ever been to Barcelona, or a lot of big major European cities now have these types of roads in them, I guess, where they have a lot of like pedestrianized streets that really favor tourism and entertainment value, and making sure, I mean, we're starting to get them in Newcastle now. One of our main streets, Northumberland Street, is now starting to get kind of pedestrianized areas in them, and they get lovely little plants put in the middle of the roads and stuff, and it all becomes very much a public friendly space rather than for cars. Now what I do want to do, speaking of the public, is make a nice safe area for people to cross the road here. So we're going to go back to our parks tools, and we are going to add in some paths. So we're going to potentially just use the park path, I think, because everything else is a little bit more rough and ready. The trade school path might be good. We could bring that in from the university, but I think just a general park. I might use this amusement park path actually to stick with the theme of the museum that we have here. So we're going to move that in, and we are going to go up as high as we can, probably to about 10 meters. Oh, wait a second, that doesn't work. I think we might have a problem here with the actual road being in the configuration that it's in. So what we'll do is we'll have our path start here. Oh, wait a second. It's because I've got anarchy on again. Right, let's bring this all the way back down to the 1 meter, and it'll go up here. That's better. I mean, that is not the... Okay, we'll get rid of that. We need to be a bit more creative with this then. So, we'll pull our path all the way back down. We'll go along here. And then we're going to go up to around about 5 meters. I think that brings us level with the road here. Can we actually now go across? Oh, we can. That's great. Okay, so we've done that. And then we'll come down back to street level here. Or there. And then it'll go to here. and then join up with the street there. But something has gone a little bit weird with that one. Maybe we'll have it loop around a little bit, and then there we go. Right, okay, that's nice, and we can maybe do the same over here as well. So in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this go all the way along to here as well, just so we've got a little bit of uniformity, and have it cut in to here. Okay, so we smoothed everything around, and it's looking a lot better now. So we've got our football stadium in. We also have the opportunity to put in a festival area, which again, I don't think is going to sit well here either. The Statue of Wealth and the Statue of Shopping. Statue of Shopping's got to go in here. We're going to put it in our leisure area, and we're going to put it right here on Cooper Street. So again, if we can get it rotated at a better angle here, I want it to kind of go on its side. There we go, like that. So people kind of access it that way, but we've got enough room to fit some small commercial plots in there as well. That's good. Right, next up, what else can we do? We've got the lovely city arch, which we will definitely be putting in, and we're going to put that right at the forefront of Chestnut Heights, going right there. So people will come in, drive through the arch. Is it facing the correct way? Yes, that's fine. Good, right, now we're getting somewhere. This is starting to look good. And then we've got some tier 2 items here. We've got the Mall of Moderation, which, you know, has got lots of small, cheap shops, requirement for building the medical centre. So we are going to need to put this in. It's quite large, but I think we can fit it in somewhere. Maybe. Maybe not. So Valley Heights is our main entertainment district. We can't really have it there. What else have we got? The Transport Tower. Friendly Neighbourhood Park. The Fountain of Life and Death. Now, we can put those somewhere in the suburban areas. Then we've got the Lungs of the City, which again we're not going to put in. In fact, maybe the Lungs of the City would look quite nice in the middle of this bustling commercial district. But as it's so big, and this is a small area, we will have to wait until we expand. The Opera House is way too big. The Oppression Office is not a good look for a commercial hub. And the Pyramid of Safety, again, is pretty large. So I think we're going to miss out most of these tier 5. The Sea Fortress. Ooh. Right, we're going to leave that for now. But a lot of these do give your cities buffs. So the Science Centre, the Expo Centre, the High Interest Tower. And then we've got loads of other stuff here. The Cathedral of Plenitude. Wow. The Stadium, which is, again, another sports stadium. These are all requirements for building something called the Space Elevator. And here we go, the Modern Art Museum, which again is huge. It's another requirement for building the fusion power plant. All of these things are going to need to be built. And Central Park here, I mean, my park's better, so we can do without that. That's fine. And then, of course, we've got a load of other stuff that we can put in that we've not yet unlocked. Of course, over here, we do have new stuff from Content Creator Packs. So we do have the Art Deco one unlocked. So we've got Pinoa Street, the Majesty, the Electric Car Factory. I think the Majesty, yeah, okay. Then we've got the Nanotechnology Centre, Research Centre, Robotics Institute. All of these are really high-tech, big influence buildings. But we do have a drive-in restaurant here and a drive-in Oriental restaurant. I wonder if we can pop multiples of these down, because I would quite like to have some of them in and around the like the actual truck areas that I've got. We've got an Oriental market. We've got the noodle restaurant and a small office building. Lots of stuff here. The service station and restaurant might actually be a good one to put in somewhere along the motorways and things. Lots of things here, like the downtown hotel, which we will put in, because this is for business travellers, but we'll put it in our new district here. And what we'll do is we'll put that here. Right there. Oh, we can only put one. Then we've got the station department store. We've got a temple, the rail yard shopping centre, high-rise offices and stuff. So lots of things here where we will eventually be putting our office buildings we could put in. I think that will do for now in terms of what unique buildings we are going to put in. But I will go back and we'll add in our department store, which I think is here. And we'll put that in the big entertainment district. Near to the cinema, I guess, would be a good place to have it. And it does fit in quite nicely right there. Although, is that road... Yeah, the road is right. We'll delete this road, and what we'll do is we'll put it back in at a little bit more of an angle. Now, having Anarchy on is giving me a little bit of a hand here, but I don't really want to have it on all of the time. So I am going to try and have this... We're going to turn it off, basically, at some point soon, because I don't want this to be too overbearing and too reliant on a mod. Although I do think the mod is very necessary, it works really well, and if you can get your buildings sit quite nicely together, you don't notice that it's interfering with things. I'm going to try and make this a little bit of a better curve to link us back up with the main street, and I think here we could do with some adjustments as well. So again, all I'm doing is I'm using the network multi-tool here. We're picking the arrange at line mode, and then we go round to the curves here, and we try and arrange it a little bit better. So what I want to do is I want to try and just move. We can't really do that. What about here? Is this going to curve a little better? No. So I think we need to actually move this road physically down a little bit further. Although what we could do is just have this continue on. No, we can't have it continue on. It's way too close to another intersection. So let's just have it move up a tiny little bit further to like here. Then we will get our curvy road coming in, and then it'll curve around. Oh God, what's happened here? That's not that has gone underground. There we go. And then we'll come back to our network multi-tool and have it arrange at this line here. Oh God, no, that's not going to be good, is it? What about this? There. And then if we go here... No. What if I add an extra node in here? We'll put another node just there. Then we'll go back to our arrange at line tool. That is a little better. Yeah, I can live with that. I can work with that. That's fine. And then, obviously now we need to link this back up here. Like that. Okay, right. That's working. That's looking a little bit better. This car park is on a little bit of an angle, but we can cope again with that. That's fine. So I think one of the problems that I had there was having Anarchy on, you don't get adjustments to your terrain and stuff. So we're going to turn that off now. The other thing we can be putting in is some nice little parks and stuff, just to really give this a little bit more of a flair and allow people to do leisure things here. So if we find a tourism and leisure park, most of this is kind of like outdoorsy stuff. But for now, we can put in a skate park. And we can also potentially put in, I mean, a beach volleyball court. We're going to need a beach for that, so we're not going to put that in. And then everything else is basically fishing related or needs some sort of lake to be on it. So we can't be doing that. Then the city park stuff, obviously we can't put this in because it's going to require an actual city park. Like the Park Plaza, which you do need to have as part of a park, otherwise you're not going to get the full effect. Same with the amusement park and things. You can't just put them in unless you turn on Anarchy. So for now, we're going to go back to like parks and plazas, and we're going to have some nice little general parks in here as well. So as we are in a tourism and leisure hotspot, we're going to go with a tropical garden right in the middle of this area here. And then we are going to have a look at what else we can put down. The fishing island, obviously we can't put that in. We put a plaza with picnic tables in. I think that can go somewhere like maybe right here next to this area. Can we fit it in the little corners somewhere? Because what I don't want is to eat away at commercial ventures. So we'd like to have those people in there as much as possible. Next up, leisure. Let's put some tennis courts in right at the top here. Again, it can go next to this area. So we'll have that, and then we can maybe put a small basketball court in right there. And then we'll put a little car park in there. And then a one at the back there. And then we're going to have to put like a large car park in somewhere around here as well, just to flesh these areas out. So we put some smaller ones in there. They'll get used very nicely. And then another one, slightly larger, right there. And then all that's really left to do is to add in our new zones. Although, could we squeeze in another park? Maybe like the carousel or something would be a nice one to add in. So we put a carousel park right here. And a bouncy castle park can go just there. I don't think dog parks and stuff are going to be the way to go here. I think we really need to just be leaning into certain things that are very useful and allowing us to just look after the spaces a little bit easier. And give people a nice place to go to, basically. Like, we've got small parks here that we could actually put in the middle here. Do I have space for that, though? Or a small playground in the middle of leisure? No. Small playground in the middle of tourism is a definite yes. So again, we can put that right here. Dog park, I don't think is a good idea. Tropical garden, no. I think we're good now for this sort of stuff. Now, in our area here, we want to go with some high-density commercial zones, and we want to start painting these on all the way around here. We want that big space there, that one there, these here. We're going to leave these smaller spaces blank for now, and then just fill in all of these residual spaces on either side, and they will all become brand new commercial areas for our city, and they will continue all the way along there as well, just to give a little bit of a buffer to the traffic that is behind. Around here, we're not going to bother with that. What has gone on here? This firehouse is going to have to move. We'll put it there. I don't know why that stayed there, to be honest. And then let's go back to our zoning. More commercial coming all the way down here. We'll put some smaller ones there. And then again, it continues on here. Now, this area we're going to leave blank. That will end up being office space at some point, I would imagine. But again, we're filling in more high-density commercial. We don't want to go on this road here. We'd like all of the traffic to kind of focus down into this space here and continue with more high-density commercial in each of the areas around our new area here. We'll even put in these tiny little ones on this part, because as soon as we get onto that curve there, actually I'm going to get rid of a little swatch here going to there. Yeah, okay. And then what we could do, actually what we'll do is we'll move this car park here right to the end there. And then we'll have a large commercial area put in there. Cool, right. I did notice a power line was deleted there, so we're going to have to just match that back up. And then we'll hit play and we'll wait for our new commercial areas to build, hopefully. All of the waterworks and pipework are already in there, as well as electricity. Obviously, we need to wait for the electricity to spread up to these areas here, and that won't happen until we start getting more commercial in. We do have some demand for office now, so we're going to then put that in. Oh, I forgot to zone this big space right in the middle here. So let's do that now. There we go. Right, large commercials coming in. Fantastic. And actually, can we put a... We can fit one in right there. It would be nice to have something just propping up in the middle of that. But here you can see some really nice high-density commercial buildings starting to come in. And we also need offices now. So our offices will start springing up on this side of the commercial buffer. And then we'll have them run all the way on the opposite side there as well. Now, offices will also adhere to the demand for industry. So we will have less demand for industrial zones as we put in our new offices. Now, I don't want tech offices or anything. That was the problem I ran into last time. We actually didn't have enough educated citizens to make it worthwhile. So we just need... How have I missed that with the water? Wow. Is that now linked up? Not sure what's happened with this water pipe here, though. But it's now linked up and we've got water going to that. So that's good. That's working. And as you can see here, we are starting to get commercial happening. So all that's left to do now is to maybe plot out our brand new industrial exchange area. But I'm going to leave that for another time. This was a really good episode today. We've done quite a lot of work, and I'm actually really happy with it. You can see now people are starting to come through our gateway to the city, and things are starting to pop up here in Valley Hills and Chestnut Heights. Our money has taken a little bit of a dive during that time, but I think we'll be okay. So you can see here we've got a lot of people just getting off the train and going straight to a taxi rank, and then they'll come into our city and start taking up temporary residence in our bustling tourism district. It looks like they're actually walking though. Maybe they're going to the... Yes, they're going to go and take the metro into our city centre. And here we are, we've already got tourists here, we've already got cars buzzing around and the car parks are filling up, and our nightlife is starting to get a buzz on. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of City Skylines. Thank you for joining me for another visit to Cawfields, and I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.